Hello folks, so today I'm going to tie a wee fly called the Blob Buzzer Flamethrower. It's a fly that Andrew Humphries has created. He was asked for the materials list, and then somebody asked him for a tying video on it, so he has messaged me and asked me if I would do the video and upload it on my YouTube channel, and I told him that I would. So this is the wee fly here. So the hook and the vise is a size 8 Partridge Patriot double. The thread I'm going to use is Gordon Griffiths sheer 12-0 in red. So I'll just get started behind the eye of the hook, run on a couple of turns, come on with my scissors and knock away that excess. So the tag in the fly is silver wire, so I have here a silver wire and small from Vineyard, so tie that underneath the shank of the hook and run our thread down and tie that wire in tight. Run our thread down between the two barbs in the hook. So the tag on the fly you want, I normally put on 4 or 5 wraps. So bring around your 4 or 5 wraps of the wire, bring that up over and between the two legs of the hook, hold that tight, come on then and give a couple of wraps over the top of that just to hold that wire in place. Bring it up the shank of the hook, when we get the head, turn the wire over and bring it down the opposite side, and I'll show you what I mean. I've brought it up the left hand side, and I've got the top of the shank, I've turned it around and brought it down the right hand side. Now this is going to be the rub on our fly. So run the thread on down tight to the tag that we tied on, and that's our wire for the tag. Now the rear body on the fly, this is Vineyard's Chinese red floss. So I'll just come on and tidy up that end to tie on. Come on with our thread and give our tight turns over that and run our thread up to just short of the halfway point. And when I say short of the halfway point, I mean the tail side short of it. So come on then and wind on that red floss and run that up to where we stopped with our thread. Come on then and give her tight turns over that floss. Come on and knock away that excess and bring our silver rub and run that up a body, and you want at least 3 or 4 turns of this silver wire coming up. Come on then and give her a couple of tight turns over that to hold it. Pull the wire out straight and run that up behind the eye of the hook. Come on and helicopter away that excess. Give her thread a wee run of wax. Come on and run the thread back down to our tying on point where we're going to tie on the tail of the fly. Now what he has used for the tail is red bucktail. And I have here, I have already removed this. It was just to try and speed up the process of tying this fly. So as I say, this is my red bucktail, and I have already removed a pinch of the bucktail. So I have hand stacked this, and all you do to hand stack is those longer fibres, just come on and pull them out and lay them down again, and just keep doing that until you get the tail stacked up in the shape that you want. You can, if you want, come on and stack it up in a hair stacker, but for tails I prefer just to keep that wee bit of shape to it, rather than have your tail perfectly stacked. So the tail in the fly, now the normal tail length is 2 times the shank. Now for me that's too long. I only tie flies in my style, you know what I mean. For me 2 times the length is far too long. Now max I would give it 1.5 times the length of the shank out over the back. So I'll just come on and there's a wee short hair there that I'm going to strip out. So that's 1.5 out over the back. Come on then, pinch and loop that on, give a couple of turns over, take the time then and look through that bucktail just to see how it's sitting. Come on then and give our tight turns over that bucktail. So the flash he uses on the tail is silver and pearl crystal flash. So I have my crystal flash here, and it's 2 strands of each. So here's my 4 strands of crystal flash. So lay that down, top of the shank. Come on and give her pinch and loop over that, and I'll run our thread back down to where we started tying on that bucktail. So just come on then with your scissors and trim that flash away to the length of your tail. So the next part in the fly is our hackles, but before we do that we'll just come on and this bucktail, just come on and give that a tip of cut away towards the eye of the hook, and that gives us our run off for our overwing they sit up. So the hackles that he has used is I have already removed these from a cape as well. The middle hackle is a silver badger, so I'll just remove the waist from this filler. Come on and strip down the waist. Come on and pull back our hackle fibres. Locate our top. Come on and give that thread a run of wax first. Come on and tie down that top. Couple of turns over, bend the top back. Couple of turns over the top of the top. Come on then. Locate the top. Come on then. Trim that away. Run our scissors up the shoulder of the filler. Grab hold of our hackle pliers. Grab our stock. Pull all our fibres towards the rear of the hook and just come on and give, depending on the quality of the the silver badger. You don't want this hackle too heavy, so 2 turns is going to be suffice for me. So I'm going to strip back some of these fibres. As I say, you don't want this hackle too heavy. Hackle too heavy, you lose the movement in the fly. So come on then and give her a couple of tight turns over that stock. Pull that out tight. Another wee run of wax. And run that stock and our bucktail up towards the hook. Come on then and remove that excess stock. Take the time then and shape that filler the way we want it. So that looks good to me. So run our thread back down the length of the shank, or back down the length of our body, up tight to where we ran on that last turn of the badger hackle. So the next part in the fly now is our front body and the rub for the front body. So the front body is silver holographic tinsel. So I'll just come on and lay down that tinsel, give a turn and a half over that, back in again with our silver wire. So lay that silver wire down the side of the shank, and then run our thread up towards the eye of the hook where we're going to tie on our front wing. Come on then, because this is tinsel, just come on and we run a super glue over the top of the thread. Come on then with our silver holographic. Take your time and get that first turn on clean around the front of that hackle. So just come on then and run that tinsel towards the front of our fly. Come on and tie that down. So you have to turn in front and turn behind, turn in front and turn behind. Come on and trim away that excess tinsel, and then run our silver wire up the body of the fly towards our tying off point. So same again, you want at least 3 turns of the silver wire. So come on and a couple of tight turns over, pull that wire out straight, a few tight turns to secure it, helicopter the wire off, and run our thread back down to your tying off point. So the next part in the fly now is our front wing, and the front wing in the fly is black squirrel. I'll just come on and remove my piece of black squirrel. Come on then, I have the squirrel here, just come on and strip the underfur away from that squirrel. So you want this squirrel, if not the same density as the tail, a wee bit lighter than that. So this is the squirrel that I have here for the overwing. So same again, just come on them. Now you can pop this onto a stacker if you want, but I'm just going to come on and hand stack it. I prefer the look that you get from hand stacking rather than the square look you get from stacking it. So the length of our wing, you want to bring that down halfway down the length of the tail. So this is our squirrel, so that's about halfway down our tail. So come on then, and once we get our mark, knock that away. So lay that lay that down, just come on and give a wee run of wax. Lay our squirrel down top of the shank. Come on then and give our punch and loop over the top of that just to get us started. A few turns in just to tie that down tight. Take a wee look in and make sure that squirrel's sitting on top of the shank and in line with the tail. So come on then and we run a super glue down the thread. The super glue just gives that squirrel's easy pulled out, so the super glue just gives us a wee bit of grip on that squirrel. So just bring the thread in front of the squirrel, and as you're bringing it back, try and cut under the end fibres in the squirrel, and that just gives a wee bed on that squirrel tail just to keep that tight. So that's our overwing on. Now the front hackle on the fly, this is a badger cape dyed red. So same again, just come on these excess and fluff, strip that away, strip down the fibres that we're keeping, locate the top, come on then, a wee run of wax down that thread, lay that top down against the shank, 2 or 3 turns over that, bend the top back, 2 or 3 turns over that to secure it, and run the thread back up the shank. Come on then and locate that top, come on, knock that away, run our scissors down the shoulder of that hackle, get our, I'm just going to turn away that stock a bit, get our hackle pliers, grab hold of that stock, pull everything towards the rear, just come on then and give our tight turns of that hackle, one in front of the other, and run that. I feel like kinked over on there, but we'll just come on and give our turns of that hackle at the front of the flight. I'm going to use all of this filler. It's not really that big a filler, to be honest. When we get our hackle wound on, come on then and give our tight turns over that stock just to hold it in place. Come on then and tight turns over that hackle just to hold it in place. Push all our fibres towards the rear. Come on and knock away that excess stock. Come on then and give our tight turns over the whole lot just to hold it all in place. Take a wee minute then and shape out those hackles. So the last part now on the fly is are jungle cock eyes, and I have here, I have 2 jungle cock nails already removed from jungle cock cape. So come on and strip down the fluff off each side of the eye. And the same with the other eye. So just come on and hold the nail and come on and strip a fluff down off the side. So I'll do my side first before I switch the fly over and do your side. So as I say, there's another wee bit there. So I'll lay on my side first. Come on with the other nail. Lay it down on your side. Come on and give a couple of tight turns over that, and then just take the time then and look through the fly and make sure those 2 jungle cock eyes is sitting at the right distance back and the right slope. So give another couple of tight turns over that. Come on then. Knock away those stock tops. Get our super glue. We run a glue down the thread. Come on then and give our tight turns over that head to secure everything on. And then the last thing to do is come on with our finish tool and give her 3 or 4 turn up finish at the head of the fly. Pull that tight. Come on there, scissors, and knock away that excess. So that's the materials list that I was given for the fly. Now, what I will say is that's my tie-in of the fly. Now, each fly tire has their own individual style. The way I tie that and the way Andy ties it might be 2 completely different things. But going off the materials list that I was given, that's my style of tying as fly. As I say, each individual fly tire has their own style and their own way of tying. But the colours of that is they blend together. Like, it's a pretty decent tying, pretty decent fly. So as I say, that's my tying of it. And I seen the fly myself, and I actually says to myself, that's a tidy fly there. So there you have it, folks. That's my tying of Andrew Humphries Blob Buzzer shrimp, Blob Buzzer Flamethrower, for the person that asked for the video. As I say, that's my tying of it, given the materials list that was sent to me from Andy. So there you go, folks. Hope that was helpful to you. So until the next time, tight lines.